Hi, this is Tim Johnston from Offsite Bookkeeping. We've recently set up an offsite bookkeeping arm to our operation, which is called Books Offsite. And I just wanted to talk today about the pros and cons of having your bookkeeping done offsite, and then I'll follow up with another presentation comparing the pros and cons of having your bookkeeping done on site. So when I started Books on Site, I looked to try to provide more than just a basic bookkeeping service. I wanted to provide, yes, your basic bookkeeping with, doing your bank reconciliations and your data entry and paying bills and payroll and everything that is required, but also adding more of a management accounting level of service as well, so that clients can get some guidance with decent profit and loss and budget and cash flow reports on how to steer their business. So when I started that business, I believed that the only way that could be done properly was for our staff to come out to the client on a regular basis, and generally that's a day, or might be 2 or 3 days a week depending on the size of the client. Now, in the last couple of years, cloud computing, as you're probably aware, has really taken off, and that has finally filtered through to the accounting industry, and now we can pretty much look at all of our accounting software and they all have a cloud-based platform. So you've got Xero and Sasu were the leaders in that, and they're great products for the smaller end of our client base. Then you have QuickBooks Hosted and MYOB Live Accounts, which has come to the party a little bit later, which are fantastic products and pretty much replicas of what the desktop product would do, but giving you the ability to access that file via the cloud. Now, this has really opened up a great opportunity for our smaller size clients, and we have a rough gauge of any clients that are around under $500,000 turnover, and I mean that depends on the efficiencies of your systems and the type of business you're in as well. I mean, we have some clients that may be turning over $1 million, but it's very small number of transactions, maybe low volume, high value transactions, and that may be a smaller client in terms of the bookkeeping, the amount of bookkeeping required as well. So I guess what I'm saying there is that our smaller clients, the offsite bookkeeping is a great option for them. So we're talking about if your bookkeeping is under 5 hours a week. If you've only got 5 hours a week of bookkeeping, it can be really difficult for one of our staff members to actually come out physically to your site each week, especially if you're in the city and there's all that travel. They may have to travel for an hour or so to get in and get back each day. So it is quite difficult. So if of all of those services, and if the quality of service can still be maintained on an offsite basis, then that's a great option for the client, and it's also great for our staff. And we find that if our staff are happy at a client and that accessibility works really well, then obviously they tend to enjoy that role more, which means that they're going to stay on at that client and want to stay with that client for on a much longer term. So just summing up that the benefits of the offsite bookkeeping, you do have that flexibility where the bookkeeper can access the file at any time. So if you've got an issue, if you've got something urgent, you need an invoice sent out, you can just send an email to us advising, can we raise a quick invoice? We can log in remotely using the cloud and help you out and prepare that invoice. So we're not limited to you having to wait until we come in physically in the next time we're in. So there's some great advantages with having that bookkeeping provided offsite, and it shouldn't be to the detriment of the quality of service you're being provided with. The only time we reach limitations in the offsite bookkeeping is when you do start to grow and you get more employees and you get a lot more paperwork. Once you get a lot of paperwork, and look, we try to set a paperless office the best we can. The larger you get, your business gets, some of that paperwork is very hard to eliminate. So if you're looking at when it's getting up to a full day each week that you require bookkeeping, then there are great advantages with being able to have that bookkeeper actually physically come into your office and be able to sit down with you face to face, go through the filing, take care of all that filing, and provide that service on an on-site basis. So, just in a nutshell, there's a quick summary of some advantages and also the disadvantages of having your bookkeeping done off-site. So I'll go into a bit more detail of the pros and cons of an on-site bookkeeping service in my next presentation. Thanks.